everyone, I'm Jordan, and this is Box Angle's Leadership Workshop. Here at the Leadership Workshop, we break down bite-sized lessons to become better people and leaders in the process. Now, yesterday we talked about leading from within instead of from above. Part 1 was positional versus personal authority. Part 2 was about building rapport and how it equaled happier people. And finally, how building individual rapport will help lead to group success. Today I want to talk to you about values, so let's jump into today's quote. When your values are clear to you, making decisions becomes easier, by Roy E. Disney. So let's start out with a definition. Simply put, values are a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what's important in life. So let's get into part 1. Organizational versus personal values. It is important to realize that there can be a difference between an organization's values and your own personal values. An organization is created, and its values are often chosen and developed. This is important to realize, especially if you are in a leadership role. Depending on what level you are, you can influence what the organization cares about, which in fact will be influenced by your own values. Be aware, however, that there are other individuals who may hold different values that can also have influence in your group. You may also have to deal with values that came from before your time, those that may have been set up by, say, a founder. As a person, it is extremely important to understand this, as if you join an organization that doesn't share your same core beliefs, this can, will, lead to conflict. For instance, if you join a group that is more family and fun oriented, but you enjoy more competitive aspects and want to focus on, say, winning or selling, this can be a recipe for potential disaster. Neither side is wrong, there's just two sets of values that are in conflict. This is why for a high-functioning group, alignment of values is so important. So let's talk about that in part 2, alignment of values, top to bottom, left to right. One of the most common or number one issues that I see in struggling or developing organizations is the lack of alignment in values. First and foremost, you need to look at the top of the organization. Whether that's you or someone else, you must ask this question. Are the values from the top communicated clearly? Are they lived? Or are they modeled as well? If they're not a clear or deliberate communicated set of values, then there's nothing for the organization to latch on to. So step 1 always has to be clarifying values from the top, then communicating that throughout the rest of the organization. This is alignment from top to bottom. The head of the organization needs to understand and clearly communicate the values, and everyone below them in the organizational structure needs to understand, communicate, and live those same values, from the director down to the freshman clarinet player. For me, alignment left-right is just a cross-section of top to bottom. I think of all the teams, sections, or departments on the same level also having alignment to the core principles or values of the organization. Do all the department heads in your drum corps share the same core values, or are they in conflict? Do all of your section leaders, drums, brass, color guard, do they all understand what the organization is about and clearly live out those values? This is alignment left to right. It is also something those groups on the same level can tackle together. So bringing in all the captain heads or having all the student leaders / membership come together for a single meeting to have those discussions. So for a big picture check, you can look top to bottom, then break it down into smaller pieces by looking left to right. Because in the end, this is all to help every individual in the organization make great choices that are in line with the core values. So let's close with that in part 3, a lens for good decisions. If you don't know what the core values are, how can you tell whether or not you are making a correct decision? If you haven't defined them, you'll have no idea. For instance, you may be the director of a band. You work in a troubled area and are more interested in developing the family side of things and providing a safe space for your students. If this is the case, then scheduling an extra 3-hour practice right before you head off to a competition, is that in line with those values? Maybe if one of your core beliefs were excellence in competitive achievement, then it would. Once again, neither is wrong unless the decision made doesn't reflect the values you hold. Once you've truly defined your values, it can also give you clarity. It can make decisions much simpler because you will have a touchstone to give you clear direction. That doesn't mean doing the right thing may be any easier, but the decision making, well, that will be because you'll understand it's in line with your principles. This is especially important when it comes to developing student or member leaders. If they don't hold or share the same values, they are more likely to come into conflict with you. Making sure that they understand and live the values of your organization can help them make better decisions that reflect what you were trying to accomplish. Then your student or member leaders, they become force multipliers. The same can be true of your department or caption heads. If they understand the values of the organization, they're going to make decisions that are in line with the org's needs. Investing time clarifying, understanding, and communicating your values can prove to be invaluable to your groups. The more people buy into the values, the more you believe that are important, the smoother the general operation of the organization will be. Remember, knowing your values makes for easier and more consistent decisions. Well, I hope today's lesson helped you become a better person and a better leader in the process. If it did, like, share, subscribe, comment. Especially if you're on Instagram, I tend to check that a bit more frequently. I'm always down for questions and discussions. You can find us on the web at boxangle.com, on Insta. Our handle is @boxangle. To get to our YouTube channel, it's boxangle.com/YouTube. You can also check out Jenna's series. She's our medical consultant. She does a series called Medical Monday. Every Monday she covers a new medical topic related to performing and athletic arts. You can go to boxangle.com/medical Mondays to find her series. If you'd like to support the channel and get a couple free audiobooks while you're at it, go to boxangle.com/audible trial. As always, thanks for stopping by. See you next time.